Hello everyone, and welcome to Chapter 3 of my 0% low turn count playthrough of a Vestrian Tale. Chapter 3 is another kill boss map, but this one's a bit interesting in that it has a forced party split. Well, forced is maybe a strong word, but there's a recruitable enemy in both the top and the bottom of this map, so there's kind of no getting around splitting your army into two if you want to clear this in a fast manner. And because of that, I'm bringing all my frontliners. My army is spread too thinly to have the space for an archer or a healer to do their work, and that's why they're benched. In the archer's place, I have Coventry. He was around the last map, but I didn't have the time to introduce him to you. He's in the Lord class, which is not the Lord of the game, but it's instead a 6-move infantry unit that cannot promote. So I don't have a very good reason to invest in him, which is unfortunate, but 6-move ties him with Zeke, and therefore the second most mobile unit in my army. And the Lord class also is able to wield every single physical weapon, but only an E rank is what he joins with. And in this case, he's going to be mainly wielding the iron bow. This gives him a super large effective threat range, and you're going to see a fair bit of him throughout the early game. One thing I need to consider in this 3-turn clear is that the first turn has enemies near the boss, who's on the left side of the map, charge down immediately, and whether they charge to the north or to the south depends on which group I make more aggressive on turn 1. The northern group is eventually going to be the one that actually kills the boss, but on turn 1 I decide to put a lot of energy into making the southern group move forward very far so that those enemies near the boss don't get in my way. Right away you're going to see Coventry's mobility come in handy, as he and Ezekiel are going to combine to kill this soldier that's in Alva's way. And one other really annoying thing I needed to take account of is that mercenary that's near all my units. He is incredibly fast and can double a lot of my guys, so I made sure to surround him with bulky units he can't double to kind of neutralize him this first turn. And it's around this time that I would like to give thanks to fellow LTCer Crash Boom Bang, as he gave me the push I needed to be more aggressive with the Devil Lance I got last map. Originally I was very hesitant to use the Devil Lance, it's only got 10 uses, but playing so scared of the Devil Lance really hinders its power and versatility, and Alva's going to use it here to kill 2 generics that would have been in my way otherwise. And because devil weapons in this game double your EXP gain, she's also going to be on the fast track to promotion level. She's also hitting B lances, which I believe the toughest lance to wield in this entire run is going to be B rank. But moving into turn 2, we've already recruited the southern enemy, so now it's time to recruit the northern one. Zeke needs a couple shoves to get there, but he is going to recruit Laurencio. He's a cavalier, and his combat isn't amazing, but it's good enough for what we need him to do. And what we need him to do right now is chip down that archer that he starts near, because that guy would be a real pain in the neck for Alva. The southern group, their job was pretty much done turn 1. Now it's just not dying to that mercenary and also not dying to anyone else. And it's a good thing we got 2 extra healers this map. Keeps me from having to rig the southern section at least. The northern one is still in a bit of hot water even after this archer dies, thanks to, once again, Coventry. But Alva, because the archer's dead, she's going to have a pretty chill turn 2. Just going to move right next to Zeke and heal herself up for the upcoming boss fight. Turn 2, the main chance of death from the enemies is going to be a halberd guy that is going to target Laurencio. I decided to trade the archer's life for getting targeted by the halberd, and I gave Laurencio an iron axe to maximize his void here. I think it's like in the mid 40s, so it's not too tough to dodge. But the enemies that I initially lured south on turn 1 are also going to realize that the northern enemies are the ones that they need to be scared of, so they're going to wheel back around. But I would consider that a pretty successful diversion. They're not going to bother Laurencio this turn, and Zeke will need to deal with them next turn, though, because after this heckler tries to convince me to give up 700 gold for a reward I'm not going to be here to claim, we actually do need to spend some of our gold in the shops in this map. This is the first map to have shops, and spoilers, it's going to be the only time we visit them in the entire playthrough. You might have seen in preps that I sold like one steel weapon as well as all of my gems and stuff. And you might be a little curious because a lot of the weapon uses in this hack are very deflated. As I mentioned, the Devil Lance only has 10 uses, and a lot of really good weapons tend to have less than 20, so you might be wondering how many weapons I'm actually going to end up breaking. This is something I've had to worry about a lot, but I'll leave that for you to find out. Maybe consider how many you think I'm going to break over the course of this playthrough, but I will give you one hint. I'm going to buy a 12-use Killer Lance, and that is it for the armory. I'm going to buy a couple more things from the shop, but I only buy one weapon in the entire game. Grabbing a barrier, a door key, and a pure water. I could have probably spent a little more here, but whatever. This is going to be a familiar song and dance to anyone who's seen Chapter 1. The old Area of Effect mushroom combined with, this time, the Devil Lance will secure a kill on the boss there. I'm also going to secure a capture on this Javelin guy. That's going to be very helpful going forward. But aside from backfires, I think... No, we're not quite in the clear of this enemy phase, because those enemies I lured downwards turn 1 are going to show their ugly heads, and they've all got 1 to 2 range. I decided to have Zeke equip just an iron sword. He's got pretty high avoid. I think the shop entrance also gives him a little avoid, so his chance of death is not as high as you'd think, but it's still not great. Better than them targeting Alva. I'm fine with her spending some Devil Lance uses on generics, but I'm not that fine with it. But right here, we're going to kill the boss and clear Chapter 3 in 3 turns. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you for Chapter 4.